Hello, I'm Socrates Johnson M.D. here with my frenetic friend Rarharg.
Hey there.
And we're playing some Company Heroes 2, a 2v2 on Semois as the Russians. So what do you have to say about this map, Rarharg?
So this is a good 2v2 map, or 1v1 map for that matter. It's got some natural cutoff points at the entrances of the base.
Yeah, here we have these two river crossings on our side.
Yeah, and on their side it's a little more open on the one cutoff point, but there's still bottlenecks there leading to their fuel point. And this game often becomes a battle for those cutoff points revolving around the center.
Okay, you ready to get started?
Yeah.
Alright, 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, so what's your initial strategy coming out of the gate?
So I've got the bulletins for penal battalion accuracy, so that's what I'm going for as my first unit, rather than conscript opening or MG opening, which I find now I know conscripts seem very ineffective as of late, and penal battalions make nice. They're very they do a lot more damage once you get their
the flamethrower upgrade. Yeah. So what are you trying to do?
What's that?
What are you trying to do?
So I started facing our fuel, so I'm going to attempt to go to the island and then move towards that victory point on the flank. Sort of maybe flank their forces in the middle if they set up, which is a common it's a common strategy for anyone to attempt to solidify the center. How about you? What are you doing?
Well, I've started off with support weapon company just because I like it more on a compressed map such as this. And my initial goal was to set up a machine gun to cover this bottleneck / choke point here, and then sort of turn the upper point into a fortress, and also to get a machine gun in the church, which is the dominant position of the center of the map. So my first machine gun, which I think is just coming out now, is going to go directly to that position. Yeah. So our opponents have gone, let's see, they've gone Grenadier, apparently, off the start.
And Philly has already chosen a doctrine. He's gone for the elite troops doctrine, so eventually he'll be able to vet his troops at a slight manpower and fuel cost.
I didn't realize it cost fuel.
Yeah. And Hunter has also chosen a doctrine. He's gone for the Luftwaffe supply doctrine, so he'll be able to call in medical supplies and other resource drops.
Well, the first battle's taking place here. I realize the Grenadiers and basically all of the opening German troops can kill my conscripts. So I get them into the church and hope that I can get my machine gun in there later. Also, they've engaged me in battle around the left points. Left you completely free to operate them.
Yeah, and I did see that, and I was planning on flanking them with my penals.
Yeah.
Because because I had also selected partisans at this point. I knew that they had purchased an MG42, and usually it gets set up right here. And here you can see my penals moving in behind.
Nice.
And it buys your guys in the church some time.
Well, they're dead because those MP40s on the Pioneers are ridiculous. But at least they're killing the machine gun, and it gives me time to set up in the church myself.
Yeah, I canceled a satchel charge toss because I saw that they were retreating. I moved behind the green cover of that truck. But then I decided to just go for their cutoff point. Because look
at that. Because both of them are concentrating their Grenadier forces on me. They hit me with a stun grenade.
Unfortunately, they're also going for our cutoff point, so it's sort of a trade-off for the cutoff. We're not actually cutting anyone off from anything, really. Because we've got our...
I do get a point-blank mortar shot, which dissuades them from capping our cutoff point at the very least.
And they actually roll in with some fresh Grenadiers to scare off my one penal squad. Barely gets out. Calling some...
you got some partisans.
Yep, I called in some partisans to decap that point. They didn't come out with any weapons, so they're not going to be terribly effective.
You haven't have you gotten partisans before?
Only against AI. Oh, he
dodged.
does retreat in time. I was attempting to catch those advancing grenadiers with a satchel charge, but was unsuccessful. Oh, and these bastards with MP40s roll in. My partisans aren't having any of that.
Yeah. Fortunately, the machine gun is effective enough to hit them. I had some real problems with the machine gun and its ability to change arc from the church.
Yeah. How do you feel about the difference between the firing arc of the German MG42 and the Soviet machine gun?
Soviet machine, the Maxim has such a smaller arc. It's much easier to flank. It's much more difficult to keep trained on the enemy, and so it requires a lot of micro. And I'm just not good enough at it. Nice mine at the entrance there. That's a cliche place for them to go, and they pay the price for it.
Yeah, I was hoping to catch any light armor that they would send.
Oh, here's the swarm, especially with these bot experienced grenadiers.
I guess that first one does have the Vet 3 purchase experience, so that's dead.
And my machine gun doesn't even fire. Doesn't even fire on any of them.
Well, that's the problem with the church, I think. Yeah, you can only fire out of one side of it at any time. So I basically ignore the church. There's enough green cover in the area, and if your conscripts build a sandbag wall, say at that point, oh, nice grenade, almost wipes out that Vet 3 squad.
Yeah.
Or nice mine, rather.
Yeah. They saw me placing it. It was pretty dumb of them.
Well, yeah, and they're just mobbing up, so that's not a terribly efficient use.
4 Grin squads? No, it's not. And I am trying to hit it with a mortar. I've invested a lot in mortars, perhaps too much at this point.
And you try to get into the church again. Once again, I don't think that's going to be terribly effective.
No. Well, at least
because with that doctrine, they throw a shit ton of grenades, and yeah, your gun has to take time to switch windows, basically, or switch sides.
Yeah, it just did not work well. At least I forced them to use munitions. That's how I can console myself with it.
Yeah. Nice mortar hit. Does force them to retreat.
Yeah, they don't appear to have that many forces, actually, at this point.
Oh,
they appear to have them outnumbered.
Under fire. So they have recaptured. I had mined the entrance of that other victory point and managed to get half of it.
We already mentioned that. You do have a scout car, which is still alive.
Somehow. Well, I rolled it back to base to pop this upgraded penal squad to harass their fuel point. So I was on a mission to deny them some fuel early on because the one guy is spending fuel to upgrade his troops, and the longer we can delay
the better
his advancement of tiers to tanks and light vehicles, the better.
Yeah, and we're making a good push at that fuel point because it is completely undefended. They're spending all their grenadiers in the center. Another Vet 3.
Now they've upgraded them with Gewehr 43s, which makes them pretty damn dangerous against infantry. You attempt to barrage them.
Didn't work. I didn't realize how many there were. I know we make it quite a ways, but I have no infantry forces to cut off these grenadiers at all.
Mortars attempting to do something. I think this is the point at which they attempt to solidify their stranglehold and are cut off there.
Yeah. At this point, though, I have built my tank command, and I'm giving a light tank because they've invested so much in infantry that they will be vulnerable.
Wow, your resist gun did get a hell of a long ways away.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you don't take that much damage when you retreat. It's just that you can't fight back.
Yeah. And your mortars are
leading them on a merry... I knew they were going to go out to try and kill the mortars, so I was just going to lead them on a merry chase for as long as possible until our reinforcing forces can get in.
And unfortunately here, I was paying attention to my northern forces and didn't micro my sniper like I should have. Those Gewehr 43s.
Well, he killed at least 2 of them.
Now, yeah, and then I was an idiot and knee-jerk retreated them and lost that sniper. I should have just moved it back.
They're trying to build a machine gun bunker here at the cutoff point, which, if it succeeds, is going to cripple us forever.
Well, I saw them doing that, so I was about done with my mechanized armor company. So I was going for SU-76.
Yeah, they do kill one of my mortar squads, which was attempting to bombard the building. Did hit it several times. They also have a machine gun covering it, so we're in some trouble.
And they do get that upgrade up.
You still are decapping their fuel, so that's praiseworthy.
Yeah, that was the purpose of those forces up there. And I wasn't going to retreat those poor penals until I knew that that point was clear, because they would just get wiped out and retreat otherwise. Pop some partisans behind that in hopes that they would spawn with something useful, but they didn't get wiped out.
Yeah, that they did lasted about a second and a half.
Yeah.
I am trying to kill this munitions plate with conscripts, which is not the most effective of tactics. Oh, and my light tank's up.
Just got a little bit of lag there. Hey, baby tank on the way.
Yeah. Priority 1, kill that bunker. And we do that.
Yeah, actually, do that in pretty rapid order.
Well, it had been hit by other things first, so that was why it was effective. And from here on, I keep my mortar on our side of the river, because they control the center, but they're not really able to hit across the river effectively.
Also to harass our fuel point, so I'm advancing to crush
that infantry cloud. Yeah. At this point, this is us in a bad spot.
Yeah.
Because all we have is our fuel point. That's it. That's literally all we have.
Well, better than a poke, yeah, I guess. But
yeah,
these partisans aren't among this world. Yep, they get cut down in the open.
Well, at least we aren't facing armor yet.
Yeah. And here's where I begin mining like crazy. So I planted 3 mines around our fuel point on the approach.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
Just to make sure that I get anything.
You punish them for doing that?
Finally,
there goes your scout car.
My squad and sacrificed the scout car to cover the retreat, sort of.
Yeah, well, it worked. Sort of.
So they're doing a good job holding, well,
everything,
basically. And they finally get their fuel back, and they call it a supply drop.
Well, they have overcommitted in a certain sense to infantry.
Yeah, they're spread out quite a bit. I mean, they've got 3 Panzer Grenadiers over here, Hunter does, and you're sending shock troops to deal with that. So that's a
good hard counter.
Talk about a hard counter.
Yeah, they'd already slaughtered 1 squad's worth, I believe. No. They will encounter another squad and be effective against them while we force the retreat from our.
So I cut them off from the munitions on the one side. Finally, moving in.
Oh, that's a cutoff point.
Yeah,
I didn't realize that. Oh, and you have a SU-85.
They attempt to.
Nice bombard. Nice.
Yeah, only get one. They actually can't advance through that flames either, so that was a little silly of them to. Unless that was you.
That was me. I was assuming that they were going to charge your SU-85, so I hit the incendiaries.
That was good.
It was a good idea. It just didn't work.
Yeah.
And you can see my mortar here.
And I built this a fuel cache because we're already a little low on resources, and we're going to need fuel to deal with the inevitable Panzer IV, which just rolled.
Just popped out. Number 1. Not the last, but the first.
Yeah, the first of May in this match. So your shock troops are flanking the machine gun in the middle, but engaging at a distance. He doesn't react though, so
Well,
have just enough time to run him off.
At least I scared it away.
Oh,
And I was very scared about
SU-76
the fire arc. Oh. Yeah. Oh, they have the Panzer Shreks now.
Yeah, and of course the RNG on these penals is just terrible today. Their flamethrower does nothing, so I'm forced to retreat. And I've already used my barrage ability, but I mined right in the middle of this bridge, so we'll see something amusing happening shortly.
It's the only way they can go, so.
Yeah. I have decapped the victory point.
I'm surprised
set of partisans decides to retreat through them.
I'm surprised that you didn't, just go for the points instead of attacking them with the partisans, because it didn't seem that effective. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was mostly using the partisans as harassment.
Okay. Yeah, their upgraded grenadiers just tore my conscripts to pieces, so I'm hitting them with something a little heavier, since I know the Panzer IV is still over here.
Yeah.
And I've
He
got
does actually not pursue the SU-76 here, and instead is going after your T-70. Oh, nice hit from the heavy mortar, though, or regular mortar. I can't tell.
on the tank itself, or on the
No, on the
group of
grenadiers in the middle.
Yeah, it was just super effective.
I guess it was just a regular mortar, wasn't it?
Yep.
Not a bad place.
I don't think I have the heavy mortar doctrine.
No, I don't think that is in this.
I went to shock doctrine. Shock doc. Although my baby tank is getting a lot of attention.
Yeah. Oh, that Panzer IV is on the Hun.
Yeah.
Oh, getting flanked by grenadiers, so they didn't get it with the Shrek.
I think they'll hit it, but will not kill it for a little bit. Yeah, I was really upset because they hit it with a Panzer Shrek at extreme range.
Yeah, well, all they have to do is hit the ability
When they're in the right
when
range.
it's in range.
Well, that's
so.
fair, we get the same thing happen to us.
Yeah, it's the same thing with the anti-tank grenade, but it is... The Panzer Shrek seems to deflect much, much less.
And there goes my baby tank.
So I'm mining again at our cutoff point. That was getting something. Their Panzer IV is...
Yeah. Their Panzer IV is playing hide and seek with my AT gun.
Yeah, unfortunately, I've got an SU-76 parked across the river.
Nice. And I do get it hit off my... No, that's you. And
Yeah,
I do hit it through the bushes somehow.
Oh yeah, how about that?
Which is shockingly effective. Yeah. But here their tanks are sort of dominating all of the map. Fortunately, I get those grenadiers to retreat.
Yeah, they're rolling with the
Second Panzer.
Panzer IV. I pull my SU-76 back because it's not going to be able to go toe-to-toe against one of those.
And they have a sniper too,
Yeah.
which has hurt my guys a bit. My shock troops.
Yeah, the sniper was a pain in the ass. Ooh, your mortar almost got him, though.
Nice. That was just sort of a set it and forget it moment with the mortar. Let it go. And I'm trying to
Now,
get a
he's
good
at 3
angle.
now with 11 kills. Did quite a good job.
Yeah, at least we're forcing their Panzer IVs to retreat.
Yeah.
I do see that they have the grenadiers coming in and try and skedaddle. My infantry is headed the wrong way.
And my recharge on that barrage is still incoming. So can't quite do anything about it. My infantry partisans are on the way, but basically as a distraction, they don't work out so well.
No, they do kill one of the 8 grenadiers. And I'm too busy taking these points, which, to be fair, we do need the points at this point.
Yeah, we're bleeding pretty hard on victory points. Church is on fire. That's always a good sign.
The church is on fire.
Yeah, a little log jam going on at the entrance. He calls it a KV, but Su-85 is blocking it.
Well, I saw that veteran armor, the veteran infantry, and I knew we desperately needed something.
Oh, I after it gets abandoned.
They've decrewed it. And just in time to run into my KV-8, which pursues them.
Oh, do you get them on the retreat?
We pursue them all the way to hell.
Oh, there's another squad there.
Yeah, and another one right behind us gets a similar treatment.
Oh, God. And I barrage them with both my SU-76s. I've got two now, so I can... And I keep them together so I can call them basically concentrated anti-infantry barrages.
Nice.
Yeah.
So that was a big crippling blow for them because they lost their most expensive unit right after it had been upgraded.
That were upgraded, but they've got... Here, I'm going to take a look at the resources. So, one of them is floating...
Over 1,000.
Shit ton of manpower, so it's obvious what he's going for next. The Tiger Ace.
Yeah.
Once he has enough points, so he's got 4 command points before he can call that in.
It costs 800.
Yeah, costs 800, cripples manpower and fuel production.
Yeah. We try to make some infantry caps. Doesn't really work. Mortar's doing God's work, though. Oh, and yeah. I'm harassing their fuel.
Yeah.
That was a good thing that we kept doing. We can notice their Panzer IV is trying to flank us, maybe to a base.
Oh yeah, this is where that one mine placement really pays off. I mean, always mine everywhere, even when you think you don't have to.
Yep.
Heavy engine damage on that is practically immobilized. Fortunately, all you have there are shock troops to deal with it. But
yeah, they couldn't do anything.
I see that, and I decide to pull my SU-85 back because I know what they have as far as armor. I can use my ability to keep track of that. Nice grenade from your shock troops cutting out that fuel point. Killed 4.
4 of the Grenadiers. Yeah. Well, it's one of those situations where I took a gamble. I knew I was getting pulverized. And so I threw a grenade before retreating and hoped my guys would live. And they did this time. But many times it does not work quite that way.
And so Billy calls in a Panther now, and Hunter calls in Panther 4.
Yeah. Well, my KV-8 is going on a little reign of terror here against their Grenadiers. And I know my goal is, in fact, to draw out their tanks so we can hit them with our AT.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize that your AT was gone.
Yeah.
They got crippled. Bad. We got really crippled.
Yeah. Well, my SU-85 also got crippled by a Panther Shrek. I don't know what the fuck. Why did I move those guys back there? I think I must have misclicked.
Oh, well, at least you're flanking that machine gun. That was a good idea. Just didn't work. And I see that my KV-8 is being slaughtered. So
yeah,
I use my AT gun.
I wish I had kept my SU-85 there to support because that was probably a more devastating loss for us at that point.
Yeah. The KV-8 has only... how many kills? Well, we'll not find out, but probably about 8 or 9.
Yeah, nice hit on the Panther 4 with the AT gun, though. But,
yeah, I don't think they notice I'm there for a little while.
Yeah,
I lose sight for a second. And they have a lot of tanks coming in.
Yeah, so we're down to... invested in 4 Panther 4s at this point, so that's a pretty dangerous tank force.
And we're down to 100 points, by the way.
Yeah. And my only infantry that can really cap are some penal squads. And,
oh, you killed both Panzer IVs. Oh my god. Just by displacing your tank wall.
Yeah. Well, I get the other 2 that are down here.
Yeah. With mine, they don't notice my AT gun. So they just sit there. I sneak some engineers in and decap the point as well. And I'm happy to have them shoot at my shock troops if they don't notice any other damage that's happening.
Yeah. So, why didn't you go for IS-2 this game?
I was actually trying to save up. I just never had enough money.
Okay.
And yeah, I was always in a situation where I needed infantry to cap points, or a KV-8 was a better tactical choice. So IS-2 was definitely one of my thoughts. Wow! Long range hit on the Panther. with
the barrage.
SU-78.
So I was trying to bait him actually into my anti-tank here. So I had all of my anti-tank was over here at this point. Well, I did call in another SU-85 to guard the entrance.
You pop him a couple times, but it doesn't penetrate.
Yeah. Well, mark target's a glorious thing. Did I think?
Oh, and you kill these grenadiers with your peens.
Yeah,
Give
with
them the
those
peen.
peens.
Yeah, I've had to fall back with everything right now.
I do manage to pick up a light machine gun and what did they call it? Oh, they called it incendiary artillery. But unfortunately, I reacted in time. I was going for that cutoff. Decided to give some support using my SU-76s.
That's good. They don't have a lot of. They don't have a lot of infantry. And they certainly don't have a lot of engineers, except for this one, on which they bought 3 ranks of experience, which might have been an unwise move. That's a lot of fuel.
Yeah. Oh,
They stole our Zis gun and are
stolen Zis gun.
barraging us with it.
Those anti-tank partisans actually got that one Panzer IV down to half health.
Nice.
I also pulled back my SU-85 because I don't want to go up against his Zis gun, and I'm getting flanked by those grenadiers. They get on the Panzer strike, of course.
Yeah, and I basically lose Zis gun immediately.
And they did pull that Panther all the way back to base. I was wondering what happened.
Yeah, because it disappeared off our radar. We still kept. At least we have 2 points, and we haven't gotten to the point where we have to suicide everything in order to capture.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean that was sort of their problem. I think they concentrated a lot of their effort in holding the middle.
Yeah.
But only left sort of a very light force, if any, guarding the sides.
I've got another KV-8 here. It slaughters a stolen Zis gun.
Oh, nice.
Although I'm being very tentative with it because I know there's a bunch of tanks on the field.
Yeah, but it looks like they did a full retreat with all their armor to get them wrapped up. Oh, and look who's on the field at this point. Tiger Ace.
Oh, yeah.
So Billy's called in. It's a Tiger Ace.
Well, run, shock troops. Run for your lives. No!
Where was that? I didn't catch.
That was in the top left. There were 2 of them.
Trying to get that sniper with a long-range barrage doesn't quite work. That house probably saved his ass, but
Yeah. And they're rolling in. They're rolling in with a lot of tanks.
yeah,
At least your forces are in good order.
yeah. Oh, so I can tell what they're going to try to do.
Fortunately, they
There.
both miss your
That was
C-76,
incredible.
which is
Oh.
not for long.
Not that time.
But to try and distract them with our infantry, though.
Yeah, they're ignoring what's happening there. They barely missed my SU-85. I managed to knock out a chunk of the Tiger Ace with the satchel charge. But then they turn. I was really hoping that both of my guys would throw a satchel charge, but I don't think I had the munitions for it.
Yeah.
So I had been mining once again quite liberally.
Fortunately for us, this is not a coordinated assault. It's only from Billy. The other guy still has all of his tanks back in his
that was a fairly incredible amount of resistance there, though, considering that was just 2 SU-76s and a single SU-85. But they had sort of they would have had to cross that river there. They could have blitzed and easily taken care of everything.
Well, continuing the trend of short-lived machine gunners in the Central Church, my KV-8 slaughters these guys. They do retreat, though.
They actually popped out before the church burned down. That's incredible.
Well, the church doesn't burn down, actually. It just burns for a while.
Check out what's coming for us, though. At this point,
So, 4
all of
Panzer
those
IV.
Panzer IVs are upgraded. They've got some cover from those grenadiers. So
What do we got?
Not looking too good.
We got your SU-85. We've got 1 AT gun. And we have another SU-85. Yeah.
Partisans attempting to do some damage from behind. They don't. Oh, wow. Holy shit. That one rear armor hit, though. That did a lot.
Yeah. They are not paying attention to my AT gun, and they're just charging forward into your anti-tank defenses.
Yeah, that was really dumb, actually. This armor charge was very poorly thought out. I think they were thinking it was going to be an easy thing against a single Su-85, maybe.
And the KV-8...
Three Su-85s, a KV-8, and an anti-tank gun part of the hill made real quick work of that.
Yeah, the KV-8 took out the
KV-8
support
does
infantry.
get a Panzer Shrek.
That's fine. It gets crippled. It's a worthwhile sacrifice.
Yeah. And it basically kept those Grenadiers from advancing. But there's another cloud of Grenadiers coming.
Oh yeah, from the north. I see that.
North, non-vetted, so these are from Hunter.
Yeah, I get my KV-8 out of the way. I think I bombard these guys as they're trying to take the point, if I'm not mistaken. No? No, I think not. Anyway, we forced a retreat on those bitches.
Yeah, full armor retreat, but Tiger Ace and Panther from Billy are fully repaired, and they are on the move again.
Yeah. Well, I figure at this point, take points, gun it. What happened to your guys? They were
I
stunned.
forced that sniper. It actually managed to stun my guys with that sniper ability.
There's a
It's a veteran sniper ability that fires a flaming round, I believe.
interesting.
Stuns. I do pop some. Oh,
they got into the building.
Into the building. God, I thought they got wiped out in one shot.
Me too. I was very surprised that they lived.
They get another volley off. Hey, yeah. But nice distraction there. Their sacrifice
Paved the
bought
way.
my guys time to decap those points. So.
Yep.
And my anti-tank is fully repaired and on the way to support.
My Zis gun is right on the axis in which they're advancing. And you got some backup.
Oh yeah, I got plenty of backup. He pulls in at top speed, doesn't expect
To see what he
the
finds.
Spanish Inquisition around the corner. Tiger blocks him.
And the Panther goes
And
down.
he goes down. Holy shit, I didn't catch that we actually managed to get that Panther, so that hurt a lot.
For almost no damage done.
Because he doesn't have nearly enough fuel to do anything anymore. He can't call in any more tanks, so he's got to babysit that Tiger Ace now.
Yeah, and surprisingly, my low health AT gun survived that entire engagement. They do have lots of Grenadiers in the center.
Shit. Yeah, I'm bombarding the point though to deter them. Oh, they rapidly construct a bunker. What's he gonna do with that? Probably upgrade it to a reinforcement point.
Or a repair bunker, that might be nice.
Repair.
I don't think it lives long enough for him to make that choice, though.
There are no repair bunkers in company heroes too.
We have, actually.
Well, yeah, from the one doctrinal ability from.
Although at this point we are severely low on victory points. We have 60.
Yeah, and Hunter calls GG at this point. I'm not entirely sure if he thought that we were going to win or they were calling it in their favor at this point.
Either way, it was very premature.
Either way, very premature. And here we go. Another mine entrance to our base gets another heavy engine damage on another flank.
Nice.
Or another attempt at a flank. So always mind the cutoffs in this map.
Yeah.
It always pays off. Because any smart opponent will go for your fuel. And these guys never upgraded their Pyos with anything.
That's true.
Oh, and Tiger Ace barely gets out of there. Barely.
Yeah. Gotta watch out for all those upgraded Grenadiers, though. KV-8's not repaired enough.
Yeah. And one of those guys has a stolen Panther Shrek.
Yeah.
I do lose one of my engineers. I'm just pulling back my Su-85s. I'm not.
Yeah, and you're trying to satchel charge, I think, the Panzer IVs on the side.
Oh god, I had forgotten about those. Penals. Shit. Is this how they died? This might have been how they died. Oh, no. I remembered them. I recruited them. I didn't. I could have satchel charged that guy in retrospect, but
Yeah.
he was a manpower drain on Hunter. Not doing too much
Yeah.
good for anyone over there, but...
My shock troops in the center are pinned on the central victory point, and I incendiary barrage to force the machine gun to retreat. That bunker, as we can see, was annihilated in heavy anti-tank fighting.
Yeah, but
I think I
have
wasted
taken
shots
damage,
here.
but I've got one Vet 3 Su-85 with 6 kills, another Su-85 with 2 kills at Vet 2,
And I've got 2 KV-8s at this point.
and that one Su-76 that's still alive. Oh, he's rolling up close at barrage. Could have been a better place. I cancel it though. I probably could have gotten this guy on the tree. Oh, sniper in a bad spot.
2 KV-8s.
And 2 KV-8s. Oh, that.
He had a bad end.
So Billy at this point has 4 Vet 3 Grenadiers, Vet 3
Desperately trying to repair his
IO,
Tiger Ace.
and MG-42, and he's trying to repair that Tiger Ace with 1 engineer's split. So
I
that's
think they
gonna
repaired one of their tanks, and they're attempting to take our fuel. And I move my KV-8 up to attempt to destroy this fuel cap, but find a bunch of tasty, barbecued grenadiers in the way.
delicious Grenadiers.
And they run. They run like the cowards they are. Flank here.
Oh, you actually got conscripts alive.
Yeah, somehow. I don't know for how much longer. I wasn't paying attention to them. The Tiger Ace moves forward to kill my KV-8.
Oh, and at this point, these Grenadiers trip over my minefield. Oh, are they going to move that way? Hey, how about that?
Boom. Nice.
And
My KV-8 survives with the sliver of health as it tries to escape.
oh, and my Su-76 is not in good shape.
And your other guns are all pointed the wrong way for some reason.
Fortunately, I moved that guy. Holy crap! Did you see that?
He lived.
That turret jerked towards my Su-76 like crazy. That was odd. Oh, Su-76 is crippled, but Tiger Ace is getting shot in the ass.
Yeah. Buy everything.
Hold the retreat again. Main gun destroyed.
Come
Pop
on.
smoke. Good idea, popping smoke. Probably could have blitzed at that point to try to get away, but he doesn't have enough manpower.
Oh, and you have a shot at him. You have a shot at him. And he's down.
And take him out.
But there's a flank here with the 2 Panzer IVs, which is their last gasp.
2 Panzer IVs roll in.
They encounter a lot of friends. I even have my KV-8 shooting rounds at them.
That Vet 3 Su-76 is doing quite a bit of damage to those guys at this point.
Worth its weight in gold. You do lose an Su-85, but I think we'll take it.
At the end of the damn game, I lose one of my Su-85s. The other one's already being repaired, although...
And they have nothing. They have nothing.
Oh, yeah.
And we win with 44 points.
Yeah. Oh, so that was a very exciting game. They made some poorly coordinated assaults.
Yeah, those tank
And
pushes.
I think Hunter definitely could have called in some more recon overflights to find out where our AT was.
Yeah, they could have watched their flanks better.
Yeah, and
Problem.
they really need to upgrade engineers with minesweepers as soon as they noticed I was mining the ever-living crap out of our cutoff points.
Yeah, and the thing is, we also thought that we were screwed about 20 minutes in until they threw away their armor in some spectacular gallantry.
Yeah, I'd say that the combination of your KV-8's anti-infantry hard counter and my Su-85s as the anti-tank hard counter and our somewhat coordinated front allowed us to push back most of their advances. And yeah, they got a little greedy, and I think that bit them in the ass. Yeah. Lost all those Panzer IVs in that one push. Lost that Panther, that fully vetted Panther, in another push trying to get your AT gun. And I think they lost a lot of infantry just due to bleed out from your KVAs.
Yeah, and don't forget my mortar.
And I called in a Katyusha to try to help. Didn't get it.
Yeah, all they had left were veteran grenadiers, so that was a good idea. All right, well, I think we can leave this to rest. It was very exciting. I hope you enjoyed it, and we will see you later.